Let's look at techniques to help students learn unitizing and flexibility of thinking with fractions on a grid. We're using free online visual tools from Conceptua Math, and this is the Unitizing Grid tool. I'm going to demonstrate how to use this effectively in a 5 to 15-minute group conversation. The setup is very important. I'm going to determine that whatever is red is going to have a value, and I'm declaring that that value in this case is 1. The way the tool works is that red is your anchor. So I've decided that 2, 4, 8, 12, that I'm going to declare that these 24 red squares are 1. Now 24 has a lot of factors, which makes it easy to find a lot of fractions. So I can put the word out to the students. Who can make a fractional amount of this value? It could be that open-ended. It could be more specific. Can someone tell me how much half would be? You can talk with your neighbor, talk with groups, however you have your class set up for this kind of group exploration. Eventually, you can have a student come up to the board and make a 1/2. Here's an example of 1/2, and that works just fine because it has 12 squares. There's other ways to make 1/2 as well, so you could have different students providing different solutions. You could then put forth the challenge, well, who can show me 2/3? And again, you can see how that would work. Students would consider how much 2/3 of 24 is, and they can then make their 16. And what's kind of interesting is you can see 2/3 in another light. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns of 4, and the blue has 1, 2, 3, 4 columns of 4. A lot of conversation can be generated. You may find it's really important to use the check work tool when you're using this grid, because visually it can be very sophisticated. And that sophisticated is augmented dramatically when you change the value of the unit. Now I can say, okay, this now equals 1/2. 24 is now 1/2. And now there's a whole new conversation. Depending upon the age range of the student, it may be very appropriate. You can make this 24 be whatever fraction you want it to be. So if 24 is 1/2, how much is 12? And a new conversation is generated. The answer will be 1/4, and the 2/3 will be rendered as 2/6. And what gets interesting then is you're actually moving into a realm of multiplication of fractions. How much is a half of a half? The green is half of this red, which is a half, and that's 1/4. A lot of learning can take place. They're learning about unitizing. They're being flexible in their thinking about fractions, and you're doing it all with this unitizing grid. It can be a very interesting classroom interaction.